City Council meeting for the month of February 2018. Please come to order. Will you please silence your cell phones? Casey, would you like to lead us in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And will you please call the roll?
Mr. Foster is absent. Mr. Short.
Here.
Mr. Lynn.
Here.
Ms. Griffin.
Here.
Mr. Hughes.
Here.
Chris.
Here.
Ms. Sugg.
Here.
Ms. Bourne. Here. Ms. Williams.
Here.
Mr. Lay.
Yes, here.
Let the record show we have a quorum. Next item on the agenda is to waive the reading and approve the minutes as presented from January 2018 City Council meeting.
Make a motion to approve, and I also make a motion to approve the special meeting from January 31st.
I have a comment. I don't think Ally was listed on being present.
And I was present for one and not two, so I'll have to say yes for one and abstain for another, so can we do them separate?
Okay, I'll retract that, make it for the 25th of January only.
So we have a second? And
Mr. Short.
Yes.
Ms. Griffin.
Yes.
Mr. Hughes.
Yes.
Ms. Sugg.
Yes.
Ms. Bourne.
Yes.
Ms. Williams.
Yes.
Mr. Lay.
Yes.
motion carried. Next item on the agenda, waive the reading and approve the minutes as presented from January 31st Special Council meeting.
So
We have-
moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
Yes, add Ally to being present.
That one too?
You were at the 25th meeting, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, so we need to add you there. Were you at the 31st?
Those are both on.
Yeah, okay. But,
Good job.
Thank you. I'll get this
And-
added. Mr. Short.
I'll abstain.
Ms. Griffin.
Yes.
Mr. Muse.
Yes.
Ms. Sugg.
Yes.
Ms. Bourne.
Yes,
Mr. Williams.
Yes.
Mr. Lay.
Yes.
Motion carried. Next item, approve the payments journal for the month of January 2018. Do we have a motion?
I have a question.
Okay.
For sanitation and streets, there was a total of $16,000 spent on workers' comp. Can somebody explain that?
David?
That's a lot of money in a month.
It is, it's paid annually,
Okay, so it's one lump sum.
it is one
Okay.
lump sum.
Thank you.
David?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Ann?
Ms. Griffin.
Yes.
Ms. Sugg.
Yes.
Ms. Bourne.
Yes.
Ms. Williams.
Yes.
Mr. Lay.
Yes.
Mr. Muse.
Yes.
Mr. Short.
Yes.
Motion carried. Next item is approval of street, sanitation, general, community center, O&M, and miscellaneous funds for the month of January 2018. We have a motion to accept as presented.
I move to accept as presented.
Second?
Any discussion? And
Mr. Lay.
Yes.
Ms. Bourne.
Yes.
Mr. Muse.
Yes.
Mr. Short.
Yes.
Ms. Griffin.
Yes.
Ms. Sugg.
Yes.
Ms. Williams.
Yes.
motion carried. Next item, you have your supervisor reports on your packets. Are there any questions for the supervisors? No questions, and we'll go to old business. First on the old business is established procedures for the 2018 council meetings. I recommend that we follow the rules that we already have in place.
Nothing changed from last year?
So is this different at all from before?
This is that we are going to adopt the prior rules.
Okay.
It's very close, but.
Old
not the
business is
past
the
rules.
same as unfinished business, right? Old business, I know in the procedures they say unfinished business, but means the same thing surely.
Yes. Is there any discussion?
Yep, I have a question. Under section 5A2, I know we had a discussion last month about the job of city clerk versus what Lisa does. Can you give me a clarification on those duties?
Well, the duties and the, we really don't have that description for the city clerk as far as the agenda is concerned. That's why we went ahead and adopted the rules from the prior. See, that doesn't apply.
So we're not adopting these rules?
We're not adopting these
We're
rules.
doing the old rules?
We're adopting the old rules,
Okay,
so nothing has changed.
then
So Lisa still put the agenda
I
together.
retract my question. I reject, I
Reject?
reject, forget it.
Withdraw.
There you go.
Thank you for the question, anyway.
So we just need a second?
And I also recommend that in the next month or so, that we put together, that we all get together, have a discussion and discuss how, what opinions we have towards these rules that we're following, to see if anybody has a different idea of the city clerk and, the different positions that we have and the different ways that we run our meetings.
Okay.
A workshop meeting.
Yes, a workshop meeting, not a special meeting. And so I don't know if y'all are. if that's
I make a motion, we have a
But
workshop
it's
meeting,
time for us
let
probably
the mayor
to
call it, when it's
evaluate what we're,
convenient to him.
how we're handling things.
You give my motion?
Back up. We need to back up and resolve the procedures
Oh, and
first.
adopt the procedures that we already have?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll
Yes.
make a motion, we stay with what we've already got.
Second?
And
Okay, Mr. Short,
Yes.
Ms. Griffin,
Yes?
Mr. Muse,
Yes.
Ms. Sugg,
Yes.
Ms. Bourne,
Yes.
Ms. Williams,
Yes.
Mr. Lay.
Yes.
Now, if you want,
Okay, I want to make a motion that we hold a workshop meeting at the mayor's convenience. Everybody that can attend, I hope you can attend. It's just a workshop meeting, it's not a, you know, we'll work out the wrinkles and get this thing where from now on we have everything laid out and the way it should be, where there's no discussion about what has to go where, what has to go there.
we're gonna.
Need a
well,
second?
we need to have a second.
Second?
Any discussion?
This is for the meeting, this is just a hold meeting.
Right.
Workshop, I'm
Right.
sorry.
Okay, Mr. Short,
Yes.
Ms. Griffin,
Yes.
Mr. Muse,
Yes.
Ms. Sugg,
Yes.
Ms. Bourne,
Yes.
Ms. Williams,
Yes.
Mr. Lay.
Yes.
Motion carried. Next item, new business, is the water department, which will have to be tabled due to the,
I was so looking forward to that.
yes. You
I
got
mean,
it.
it was the highlight of my evening.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Paul.
Yeah, well, I've got to
Turner
sit through
Williams.
twice.
Turner Williams and Associates, their representatives, they're all under bad weather, and so I think their whole office has the flu. So they've had to postpone that to, next meeting.
So that'll come back next month under old business.
It should, yes, yes.
And got that, that'll come back.
Next item. This is the airport hangar. We're discussing a swap on hangars. Charlie, probably be good if you could come to the podium and explain what we're looking at.
I'll do my best. We have 4 open hangars at the airport. The first one was built in the very early 70s by Mr. E.U. Latch, and it's in pretty sad shape. What we're planning toward is tearing down 3 of those 4 hangars and replacing them with 4 nested T hangars that would give us some rent revenue. This is a long-term project, but currently the city owns hangar number 2 and hangar number 4. So what we're proposing is to transfer ownership of hangar 3. The city would give hangar 4 to the owner of hangar 3 for hangar 3. I hope I'm not getting too complicated. If that makes any sense. Just want to do a swap. These hangars are all the same size. Hangar 4 is actually the newest one, which is in a little better shape than the other 3. But we really need to gain ownership of those 3 hangars. Hangar 1 belongs to a doctor in Memphis, and I've already spoken to him about his willingness to sell that hangar, and he is willing. And the plan would be to integrate that cost into the grant that would provide the funds to build these proposed hangars.
Now, all the hangars are on city property, correct?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
so somebody owns a hangar on city property,
That's right.
okay.
We own all the property that all the hangars on, correct, Charlie?
And they rent the property then, right?
Yeah,
On the hangar, rent the
those
property.
They lease
that
it.
own
Lease
the
it, yeah.
hangars are leasing the property.
Right.
They're paying an annual lease for the property. And our lease rate right now is about 50 cents per square foot per year.
These guys don't mind moving all their stuff from one hangar to another?
No, that's fine.
I would like to come up there and look.
Look for you too.
You got time to guide me?
Okay.
Counselor, do we need to have any type of an appraisal or survey?
I would definitely advise that we know the values of the 2 pieces with the 2 hangars. Otherwise, I think we could have a problem, yes. Because what we're really doing is swapping personal property, if you think about it. In other words, as I understand it, this gentleman that has a hangar, or anyone that has a hangar out there at the end of their lease, they can remove that hangar if they want to.
Sure.
And they put it on there. So we're not doing anything to land other than we'd have to change the lease to the other spot.
Yeah, we would just transfer his lease from C3 to C4.
So it'd be like trading a city car with Charlie for a pickup truck. So we need to make sure that our values are fair market values in exchange. You said something a while ago that kind of interested me, is that on these other 3 spots that you were going to try to build into the grant the ability to buy out those other hangars.
Well, just one.
No,
Just one.
Uh,
So why wouldn't we buy out this gentleman's hangar?
The way that hangar is situated, we can't incorporate that into this cluster of hangars we're talking about. It's just, it's backed up against another hangar, and it just won't work. So that hangar needs to stay where it is.
So we're going to continue to use it. The city
Yes.
will.
Oh, yes.
The hangar we're trading for, or proposed to be traded for.
The hangar we're training for, until such time we would get the grant and could actually implement this project, we would continue to rent that hangar. There's a rental airplane in there now, so, and all those 2 hangars that we own, we're getting $100 a month off those.
Mhm.
Now, once we get these enclosed hangars, based on today's market, they would go for around $200 a month.
I think it's very important that we know the dollar value of the hangar
Okay.
on each piece of property, what the city's dollar value of that hangar is and what the dollar value of his hangar is before we swap, because if we're giving him more than what we're getting, then we could have some problems.
The hangar, just as a point of reference, hangar C3 sold about a year ago for $15,000. So we're not talking about a great deal of money in these, they're just.
Right.
But C4 that we would be giving him is in better quality, better
A
condition.
little better, yeah, it's a little better hangar, it's the newest one. They started out building C1 and then C2 and ultimately C4. So C4 is newer and it's in a little better shape.
Charlie, if the grant goes through and we remove the 3 hangars, we're not gonna gain another spot for another hangar like we were talking about, how we were gonna take them facing both directions. We're not gonna gain anything when we're removing the 3 hangars. We'll be putting 3 hangars back.
Actually, we gained 1, we'll be putting 4 hangars back in that
Okay.
space.
That's,
So, down the road, I see 4 new hangars bringing us $200 a month in lieu of the 2 hangars that are now bringing us $200 a month.
Right.
So, and hangars, right now, the fact that we don't have any additional hangar space is the limiting factor on growing our airport. We're just gonna have to go full steam ahead on trying to get more hangars. People are just crying every day for hangar space. This is a project that won't happen overnight. It may not happen even next year, but if we don't start working on it now, it's a given that it won't happen.
Is there an appraisal process for a hangar? I mean, it's not like a house, obviously. The $1,500 you said for 15,000, where did that number come from?
It's a very good question. Somebody just gave that much for a hangar at one point in time.
From private individual,
Established
private
market.
party to private party is what you're saying?
Yeah. It's, what it is, it's 8 steel pipes with a metal roof on it.
Yeah, I know.
So $15,000 is a pretty high price, but it's the law of supply and demand. There's just not any other
Right.
places to park airplanes.
It's not an enclosed,
Oh, no.
okay.
No.
Charlie, when you talk about the 15,000, and if I'm the one that's coming along and offer you 15,000 for your hangar that's sitting out there, is the fact that you have a slot out there already gonna add value to that hangar when I get it? Because you said there's no more spaces. In other words, is some of that $15,000 to lease the land?
That's right. That's exactly right.
So we need to know what the hangar value is, just the hangar value on both of them.
Yeah.
Because the
land
land,
is the same.
land is the
It's the
same.
same.
Yeah. Okay.
Who's the airport engineer now? Who's the official airport engineer? Is
Carver.
Garver?
Uh-huh.
Can I recommend that the mayor call Garver and talk to their people, because you know what happens anytime we get into an expansion, they've got their pros that come up here and do all the appraisals. You call them and run this by them and have their guru come up and look at that.
and they do a lot of our grant work for us.
Sure, and they're totally familiar with everything
Yeah,
out there.
yeah.
Yeah, they're
And they-
already intimately involved in this project.
Right.
They're working on the grant
And
application.
they've got somebody on staff that does that.
Yeah.
So can you call them
Oh, sure.
and we'll bring this back?
Yeah.
Charlie, is there a drop dead time on this, or is this just something that's just gotta be done eventually?
It's gotta be done eventually.
Eventually.
Yeah, there's no drop dead.
So if he
time.
calls down there and they come up and look at it and they bring us back the numbers, we could bring this up again next month?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think we could be ready by next council meeting, no problem.
So you'll remind Jimmy that he's gotta call Garver?
I can do that.
Thank you.
I think that's Lisa's job, isn't it?
Well, Charlie and I have been looking at this, and the new hangars, if we can get this grant, will have automatic door openers, and it'll be a lot better hangars. And we actually have room for close to 17 additional hangars through the years, and Charlie says he's got a demand, he can fill them out up today.
Yeah.
So that's quite a demand, so.
The more airplanes we have, the more fuel we sell, and so it's a double-edged sword. So we're looking forward to it. It's gonna be a long-term thing, but, you know, I'm thinking of this hangar development in 3 phases. And we're talking about right now, phase 1, phase 2 would be 4 more, and then finally phase 3 would be 9 more, giving us a total of 17 new hangars. These will be enclosed hangars with electric bifold doors, and then we'll have some electrical in there. There'll be a couple of lights and a couple of receptacles in these hangars, so it'll be really, really nice.
Now's the time that you speak up and say that that's gonna be funded by a grant from the FAA and the state, and it only costs the city what percentage? Very small percentage.
I think we'll be, the best we're gonna be able to do is get a grant from the state aeronautics department, which will be an 80-20.
80-20.
And we'll have budgetary, when we come back next month, we'll have budgetary numbers on what we think this project will cost.
So Terry, would that satisfy you if the appraiser comes up and looks at that?
Well, it would satisfy me if we knew what the value was, because the
Right.
thing about it, if you think about what you're doing, for me to go in there, and if I wanted to buy that hangar, I gotta tear it down, and I gotta haul it off, so it's not gonna be worth near as much.
Probably have to pay someone to do
But the same way with ours, you know, theoretically, if you're gonna exchange hangars, but you just gotta get it the same value there if you're gonna swap. Otherwise, we would just buy his hangar and then him turn around and buy our hangar, and we'd have to advertise it for sale and go through all that.
Right.
That makes sense to you, Charlie? Kinda.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll come out there and look. Hadn't been out there in a while anyway.
I know.
So is this gonna be tabled?
Yes. Next item, the community center billing and hours of operation has been tabled. We are meeting, our committee's meeting Monday. I know it's a holiday for most city employees, but we're gonna meet and discuss this at length. And hopefully we'll come to some answers and bring it to you, at the next meeting. Because we do want to get this behind us. This has, been tabled, what, the 2nd month now? And so, we want to get that accomplished. Next item is, this, y'all don't have this on your, I don't believe on your, agenda.
Got a new one.
Yeah, you got a new one?
We got it.
Thank you, Lisa. We have all the canopies at the ballpark, and the last, we had what, excuse me, a 30, 40 knot wind, that southwest wind that came through and ripped most every awning, which or canopy, that is over the bleachers at the ballpark. And how many, Stacy, did we have damaged?
We have 10 of them damaged, 2 of them
Yeah.
are totally down.
So we did turn it in for an insurance claim. They came off of the actual cost of the awnings, which was $16,184, I believe. And that's just the material itself. And, of course, we had depreciation on that. And then we received a check from the insurance for $9,135. We had 2 different quotes. One from Playwell, which was about $32,000 plus tax, which tax on that would be $4,000 approximately. And then on Davis Playgrounds, we had a quote for $28,000. So that's what I'm bringing to the council, is the check. Our net cost is gonna be about $19,500, but that includes our insurance check. So the cost is gonna be over 20. So we need to bring that to the council for your approval.
You've got baseball going on right now.
26th.
Right. How fast are they gonna get this done?
As soon as I get the answer, they'll be out there, we'll tear them down. We're gonna tear them down, we can save some money by tearing them down, and they'll start immediately.
How long is it gonna take?
3 to 5 days.
Days, okay.
Very few people to do this.
So, we're gonna need
Is there some kind of warranty on these in case they have?
These new ones will have 10-year warranty on them.
Okay.
Stacy, we didn't advertise for bids on this.
No, did not. Just made a call to the canvas companies and then basically, because there's not a lot of people that can put them up. And you want to put them just right, because if they're not, this is what's going to happen to them again. It wasn't tight around them poles in there, and they didn't have the right straps on there in the cable, and that's where that wind wore them down to the seams.
This includes the new fabric,
New
cables,
fabric, cable, and installation,
and hardware.
and hardware.
Okay.
How old are the ones that were damaged?
I'm
How
sorry.
old are they, the canopies?
They're, the ballpark is, 7, 8 years
7, 8 years.
old, and they've
No
got, and these have a
warranty on
10-year warranty.
10-year warranty on these.
Yeah. So, Terry, do we need to?
Well, I think what we probably need to do, if the council's gonna approve this tonight, we need to, what we really need is an ordinance waiving the bidding process
Right.
and, approve it. Of course, we don't have the ordinance tonight, so, I know he's wanting to do this quickly, but if the council.
Who's gonna meet Monday during your meeting about the?
Paula, Casey, Stacy, Chris, I guess, and myself.
You're not gonna have a quorum then?
Well,
If
and
you-
I'll have to,
if
we'll
you-
have to
If you
shuffle folks
include
back and
enough,
forth.
could we just do it Monday, have an ordinance and do it Monday?
That'd be fine.
If we got a quorum,
Is that a special meeting?
well, in this meeting for the community center, just make that into a special meeting.
It'd have to be a special meeting. It couldn't be a workshop. I mean, you'd have
Yeah.
to.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying, convert that to a special meeting.
That'd be
and then
great.
Have this thing on there.
Okay.
And you get the ordinance by then.
Well, after do that, we can adjourn, y'all can go on a committee meeting unless somebody riveted by it and wants to stay.
Maybe what
That would be
time?
fine.
What time?
10 o'clock?
8
Community-
p.m.
At the community center?
8 p.m.
On a holiday? Yes.
I got a doctor
Yes.
appointment.
What holiday is it?
My doctor appointment's at 1:30.
What's a holiday?
I'm gonna schedule.
Monday.
What is a holiday?
President's Day.
What is a
Yeah,
holiday?
see, only
I
the
don't
big
know
people
holidays.
know that.
So,
I work all the time, 24/7, 24/7. Jimmy,
Yeah.
For the minutes, the purpose for the special meeting is,
Well,
to pass an ordinance.
first, I need to ask, are we in favor of this ordinance and waiving additional bids?
Yes.
But if we need to, get them installed and stuff.
Do you need a motion for that?
no, I just need to know the consensus of the
Okay.
council, and then
All right.
we can vote on that ordinance.
We have a motion.
We don't need a motion over
We
that.
have a
We,
motion.
But I'll get an ordinance to you,
Okay, you got it.
and then you guys just need to vote on it Monday, and this is one you're gonna go with. Dates.
Yes.
That becomes Monday's issue.
Okay, Monday at 10 o'clock.
Yeah. And I'll just tell you now, I won't be here.
Okay.
These are the
Also, I want this to reflect in the minutes that we need approval from the council to purchase a fixed asset. It's a grapple truck for the street department. It's a used grapple truck. It's under it's $18,000. I think, Paul, you never had a chance to look at it, did you?
I've seen it in operation.
Yeah. And,
It says under 20,000?
yes.
Okay.
But it's a fixed asset and the council needs I need to have the council's approval. It's a 1998 Ford F800 and the hydraulics are in the grapple part of the truck. Carl and I have been out to look at it and that part of it's in better shape than ours. It'd be a good backup in case we get in trouble. So we have plenty of money in that budget line item, so I think it's going to be a good move for us.
I'll make a move, we add the grapple truck for the purchase price of whatever it is for the fixed assets of the public works.
Second.
Any discussion? And
Okay, could I have an amount for our minutes? They always.
18,000.
18,000.
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Foster,
Yes.
Mr. Short,
Yes.
Ms. Griffin,
Yes.
Mr. Muse,
Yes.
Ms. Sugg,
Yes.
Ms. Bourne,
Yes.
Ms. Williams,
Yes.
Mr. Lay.
Yes.
And there is no tax on that. It's rolling stock. So there is no tax. Okay, we have open mic. Raymond McCann, would you like to approach the council?
Coleman Outlaw. Been talking to the mayor for quite some time about Christmas lights at Spring Park. And, let me turn on my Bluetooth while I'm doing this. What we're, talking about is trying to do basically programmable LEDs. And that's what those are. I've got a little kind of quick made homemade display there. If my phone will find it real quick. And you can do RGB trees. We talked about doing a big tree elevated off the ground so people can walk under it. And it'll be programmable. Every pixel on it will be programmable to a different color at a different time. So you can play music, and it's all choreographed in the music. They all blink in time. The tree, you can scroll text around it. My phone is not working. The picture's great. You can program these things. This is just a simple little controller, and for some reason my phone is not finding it. So. What I'm trying to do is, I know you guys have trouble with people wanting to do stuff for the city, trying to do projects. I talked to my grandkids this year, and they wanted Christmas lights. Nobody has any Christmas lights. I mean, we've got to go out of town to find a decent Christmas display. So, I want to do it, whatever it takes. I mean, if I have to go find funding for it, I've talked to Ms. Griffin about there's already an account that we put the money in and pay for the stuff. If I have to fundraise for it, whatever we need to do, and I'll take care of putting it together. It'll all be, you can do an FM transmitter. It's very low power, so literally you'd have to be at the park in order to get the FM signal, and you play the music like Trans-Siberian Orchestra or a Mannheim Steamroller or something like that. And they're all choreographed, like I said, to the music, play different songs and stuff. And basically that's what I want.
So you're looking at just a tree right now and then expanding, or?
No, I'd actually like to do a whole lot more than a tree.
He's got a plan.
Got any idea about cost?
I'm glad somebody does.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. That is half of a $30 pixel strip. All right? The pipe cost $2 a linear foot. I wound up getting the extra heavy duty stuff, so it doesn't bend like I thought it would. That's why that looks more flat than more of an arch. So, you know, watch these YouTube videos, how they do it, what they do, and my phone is still not connected to that. I can program that with my phone. I can pick colors. I can pick color schemes. You can put those in shapes and stuff. Trees, reindeer, I mean, just whatever. We had talked about budget-wise, like a dollar amount. If
if the fireworks cost 30 grand, and that's a one-day deal, and you've only got people coming to town one day for that item, if we could do 30 grand for a light display, we're talking about a whole month worth of people coming to town, going to the lights, the businesses that sponsor it, there's gonna be traffic for them. I mean, it's gonna be a month long, it's not gonna be just one day. And for 30, we could do a lot. The RGB tree that I'm talking about, we're talking about putting 12 foot up in the air, that way people can walk under it at like a quad of a sidewalk there behind the big amphitheater. It's gonna be like 18 foot tall after that, so it's gonna be a very big item. Also, elevating that main item up keeps people from messing with it.
Yeah.
You know, nobody comes by and tampers with it. The small amphitheater, there's basically a little triangle there where all the power supplies are, all right? I need those. So basically, that little triangle right there is gonna be our primary focus for this year, would be in that triangle with hoops, arches, little tree, A-frame trees, stuff like that. And then program them to blink or strobe or color with the music, and then do different songs and stuff. So, you discuss.
If you start this now,
I'm gonna tell you.
Project now,
Yeah, we've got.
you can do this Christmas coming up.
Yes, ma'am.
And you would be building this, or you'd be buying? these-
I would be buying supplies and basically putting it together. And for some reason, my phone will not attach to it. It's not liking that Bluetooth link. Yes, I'd be putting together the items and stuff. We talked about the footings for like the main tree. As soon as we can get out there that it's dry, I would like to go ahead and put anchors in the ground, basically a plate anchored down in the ground, and then cover it with dirt. So there's nothing there. And then when it comes around Christmas time, this fall, after all the projects are done, all the, you know, Halloween and that stuff, I go scrape off 6 inches of dirt, bolt my collar to it, and I put the ring up, and I put the tree up. So it's not gonna be something that's defacing the park all year long. It's all removable, storable, you know, but we do have to cordon off that kind of triangle area there. That's my main focus, is in there, because there's so much power there.
Where would it be stored?
It'd be stored in my garage. I mean, I don't care.
And you would be building this and putting it up, and
Yes,
are you insured and bonded and all that?
nope. Volunteer.
I got a suggestion. Tuesday, 4 o'clock, Advertising Promotion Committee meets.
Mhm.
Can you come see the A&P Commission and run it by them?
If I need to, yes.
I'm just one guy now.
Cause this is actually a two-part process. That organization has the funding. I don't know how much, but they have the funding. But you're still gonna need the blessing from the city council to set that up down there. And we've all talked about, you know, needing Christmas lights down there, holiday lights down there.
But all A&P is gonna pay for is to advertise
They're not
and
gonna-
promote it, they're not gonna put any money toward lights.
Well, I don't think you'd have a problem finding sponsors.
I don't think I'm gonna have any trouble finding sponsors. I mean, you know,
And their name would-
you run their name around that Christmas tree, they're gonna write a big check.
And that'd be theirs permanently.
What,
That would be theirs permanently. That would-
The
Whoever
sponsors.
sponsors the tree,
looking at every year. And looking
so
at-
if someone spends $15,000 on a
We're
tree,
gonna do
they
more
only get one
every year though.
They only get to sponsor it for 1 year.
That's up to y'all. Y'all have the politics of that. I'm just trying to put the display together.
If they buy it, they need to sponsor forever.
Well, the reason I wanted you to run it by A&P, because we can advertise that, and you know, we might even be able to put something on television down in Little Rock, because this is gonna be pretty unusual. It'd be nice if we could expand on it all the time, if you get enough sponsors. But anyway, I would appreciate if you come by A&P 4 o'clock Tuesday.
Well, I talked to Miss Griffin the other day about, you know, sponsors and stuff, and we've got 2 right off the top of the bat that we think could potentially cover the whole amount. And, you know, I can make a little LED sign, and scroll text across it, square one, kinda like the sign you guys have in front of City Hall. Little LED sign, scroll their name across it, their logo, anything you want on that sign.
Do you
And
have
then
a,
they get sponsored, you know.
do you have something to show us, like what the tree would actually look like?
I do, I can start, if you wanna wait a second for me to boot the computer up, I can.
Can you just come back next month after you talk to
Yeah.
MP?
Ryman, I hate to cut you short.
You want me to? That's fine.
Normally we keep this to 3 minutes or so, but, I appreciate all the times you've been in the office and I've had that thing in my office for a month and, so,
We had a plumbing problem.
but, you know, we're all for, you know, we're trying to bring Spring Park up to par. We're doing a lot of tree trimming and we're gonna do a lot of drainage projects there this year. And, so.
That's better than the old.
And so, you know, we've all talked about, you know, the chamber, all of us have talked about Christmas and Christmas lights and of course you've done the, Christmas and so it's a huge project, it's a huge expense. And so there's gonna have to be some planning, some real discussions and how we can do this. And if it works, we'll probably start in about August, putting those lights up.
As
Get
soon
our
as the
money's
last-
worth.
as soon
No,
as
I'm
the
kidding,
last-
I'm
As
kidding.
soon as the last big event's done,
Yeah,
when you start trying to
I'm just kidding.
put stuff up,
But,
What is your experience of doing stuff like that?
desire, absolutely nothing.
Grandfather.
Grandfather with grandkids that want Christmas lights,
That's
so
right.
I will
Mine
provide.
do too.
I will provide.
and that's what it takes a passion.
Yeah.
And so, we appreciate you.
As far as your, insurance and that stuff, we could cover that with just make a Christmas light coordinator for the city. I volunteer. That's covered.
Well, and I talked to him about doing it under the After Dark in the Park.
Right.
That account.
Yeah.
So you've got an account already to cover, to put that stuff.
For donations and.
Right. Already a line item budget.
Yeah.
Won't take any time, man.
Raymond, thank you very much.
All right, I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other announcements?
Can I
Yes.
just make a quick one? I got it, yeah, okay.
Sure.
For those of you that I don't know, my name is Julie Murray, and I serve as the Executive Director of the Chamber of Commerce, and I wanted to introduce a couple of people that are with me tonight. We have a new program at the Chamber called the Chamber Champions Program. And it is a hybrid of what our ambassador program, which still currently exists, and a leadership Heber Springs program, which we can't quite support yet. So we took those two and kind of combined them, and so it formed the Chamber Champion Program. And we have 10 currently a part of Chamber Champions. And their main objective is really to serve as the liaison between the chamber and our members, to make sure our members are aware of upcoming events, the benefits that they have, how the chamber can serve their needs and help them grow their business. And in the course of that, we also have incorporated leadership development opportunities for these champions. We're very fortunate to have received a grant last year from Entergy to help fund that, and I have been told that our grant will be renewed again this year from Entergy so that we can have more leadership development programs. This is part 2 of the leadership development for February. Mr. Muse was kind enough to join us in our meeting last Friday. I think it was the mayor's birthday, so he was
I was second choice, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Know that?
But you did a fabulous job.
Thank
You really
you.
did. To come and talk to our chamber champions about how city government works. Last year we had the judge and Michelle Evans come and talk to us about how the county works. And we also attended a quorum court meeting. So we're integrating community development into this program as well. So ladies and gentlemen, the city council, take a good look, because these may be some of your opponents someday, running against you as city council people or quorum court members. And just trying to develop a talent pipeline for our community going forward. So if you wouldn't mind, I'd like for both of them to stand up and introduce themselves.
I'm Toy Logan, with Eagle Pest Management.
I'm Karen Derrick with First Security Bank. And I'm also the president.
Thank you.
Thank you, Julie. Thank you, ladies, for all the work you do. Anyone else?
We'll let Chris make the motion to adjourn. Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn. Second.
Second?
Coming late, gotta let everybody make up.